They have these questions, these 12 questions.
Those are so important, and we're working on those, and officers are starting to realize how important they are. If officers were to do that, we could know faster what victims are at risk of losing their lives.
I would like to see some more consistency, and I would like to see every agency using a lethality assessment. They talk about they all have their own versions, but it's not done at the patrol level. Most of them it's done at the detective level. So there's already been a response, and now somebody else is coming back to talk to them later. And so it needs to happen at the patrol level. Every patrolman needs to be using a lethality assessment.
Did he threaten you today or on a previous day?
Yes, and him.
What was the exact word that he used?
He said, "You're a dead woman." You tell him
Okay. Is there any witnesses to that?
right there.
She did say that you made verbal threats towards her, saying you're a dead woman. Did any of that happen today?
No.
Nothing verbal came out of your mouth like that. Direct threats of violence.
No.
Anything like that. Do you have any witnesses to prove that?
No.
Has he or she ever used a weapon against you or threatened you with a weapon? Has he or she threatened to kill you or your children? Do you think he or she might try to kill you? Is there anything else that worries you about your safety? What worries you?
If they rank high on the scale, they'll get an advocate on the phone right then. An officer will get an advocate on the phone, and we can safety plan right then on the phone. So having that on the front end may save coming into the shelter a month later when they've been, after a hospital stay. Those lethality assessments could save a lot of injury, save lives.
If there's some sort of intimidation or assault or ag assault or, or protection violation, anything besides just a verbal argument is when you do a lat form as well.
When the police come and respond to their home, they begin to recognize, oh, these things that are happening to me, it's not just happening to me.
Maybe you get a couple of yeses and a couple of nos, or they wait for the victim to tell them everything they need to know, and a victim may not be forthcoming with everything they need to know. I had a fairly young patrolman. I was on a ride-along, and we got to the domestic, and it was an older woman, and his first question was, "So, Mrs. Smith, what'd you do to piss him off this time?" And that is not a good answer. That's no way to handle that call. So he and I came back to have a conversation with his training officer, and he had to go back through some retraining because that's not appropriate. It wasn't her fault. It doesn't matter what she said. He should not have put his hands on her. So that was something that particular officer didn't understand. He does now.